Hey guys! The casting gods have been chatting with the printing gods, and, lucky me, I've been sent an Anycubic Photon S to review. It's an upgrade to the standard Photon, and it has a few additional pros and cons that I'll be covering in a while. As you'd expect, it came well packaged. Peeling back the covers was very satisfying, and I enjoyed what I saw. There's all the accessories you'd expect. A power supply for your part of the world, a memory stick for your print files, various tools, some rubber gloves, plastic scraper, a mask, and some basic instructions. There's also some spare FEP films, as these inevitably wear out. Anycubic also includes some resin, so you'll be able to play with your toy almost immediately. Peeling back the protective film reveals a very handsome looking unit, but those with the old style Photon will be used to a metal casing, and this one is very plastic. Now I don't mind plastic, it helps keep the costs down, but this door feels very flimsy. It works, it's well connected, but it feels flimsy. The first thing to check is the 2K screen. These can crack in transit if the delivery boys are feeling awkward, but fortunately mine was fine. I'm pleased to see the on and off switch and USB port conveniently situated at the side of the printer. The power socket is nicely placed at the back. The build plate needs attaching, and to do this the Z or Z bar needs raising. The screen is small, but Anycubic have maximised its usage with large clear lettering and menus that are easy to read, even for my poor eyes. Once raised, maybe halfway, the build plate is easily attached and ready for levelling. Now this is critical. Get this wrong and you'll be lucky to print anything at all. Step 1. Loosen the grub screw and make sure the plate moves freely. Step 2. Slide an ordinary piece of paper across the screen. Step 3. Press the home button and send the plate all the way to the bottom. Step 4. Square the plate nicely by eye. Press and hold it lightly and tighten the grub screw. The plate is now level with the screen, but we need to adjust for an ideal gap. So, step 5. Pull lightly on the paper and it will likely pull free easily. Well, we don't want that, we want a snug fit. So on the menu, select the 0.1mm button and click the down arrow just once. Make sure it is 0.1 and not 10, and don't go mad with the clicking. Just one click and one test pull. Step 6. Repeat the previous step, clicking and pulling until the paper is snug enough that it pulls, but it doesn't push. Once you've achieved that, you're there. Step 7. Click the Z equals 0 and hit enter to confirm. Now I don't like this. It's not a bad thing, it's just an annoyance. Enter and return mean pretty much the same to me. It's just a language detail, but I'd be happier if it said enter and cancel. But you will see this a lot, so watch out for it. Anyway, you're done. The plate is level and the gap is ideal. The plate gets raised and the resin tank gets slid in. This seats nicely thanks to a couple of metal stops, and it just needs hand tightening into place. The resin is shaken and poured into the tank to a recommended height of 1/3. Now I griped about this with the Elegoo Mars, so it's only fair I gripe about it here as well. It would be nice if the manufacturers drew on a clear level marker. If it's got one, my not too brilliant eyes can't see it, and if you overfill the tank, as the plate descends, resin spills everywhere, so don't overfill it. I was now ready to print. All I needed was to plug in the USB stick and get cracking. But hang on a moment. The USB stick contains some handy files including slicer software and a test print. The problem I had was that the printer couldn't find the test file on the stick. Fortunately, I realised it was probably a firmware issue, so take careful note of this if you're thinking of buying one of these machines. Visit the Anycubic website and find the Photon S. At the bottom of the page are some useful files. There's a firmware update, a slicer update, and an up-to-date test print file. It's necessary to download these from the site, and the firmware files need to get copied to a blank USB stick. This gets plugged into the printer and run as print files, though obviously they're not really printing. Once done, the system information shows that the firmware has been updated. And sure enough, the printer located the test print on the stick and got on with some printing. After a dip in alcohol and a spell under the UV lamp, here it is. And I think it looks great. In fact, it looks so good, let me show it to you on a turntable I borrowed from John Travolta. Next, I had a bash at the AmeraLabs Town test print, and I have to say, this is the best print I've done of this file so far. For something so small, it's very sharp and clear. This may in part be due to the dual axis Z-bar. This promotes smoother arm travel and helps eliminate wobble, which can lead to poor printing. The UV module is another upgrade to the earlier model, with a 2K high resolution screen with more uniform light distribution. These things at the back here are dual activated carbon air filtration, intended to reduce that nasty resin nif. Other additions to the original Photon are the user interface and the slicer software. As I've already mentioned, the screen is small but very clear and easy to see thanks to the large lettering and menus. It's nicely sensitive to the touch, even when wearing rubber gloves. But the slicing software, well, it works obviously. It's quick and fairly intuitive, but right now it's the only option you have. It's the Anycubic slicer or no slicer at all. Currently it does not support G2 box, which frankly is a stupid decision on Anycubic's part. The Photon has a fantastic online following with great community support. These talented and dedicated enthusiasts have created some great free resources. But many of these are G2 box specific, and by preventing its use, Anycubic are alienating their Model S users from this fabulous online community. Personally, I don't like the slicer. It's good if you're happy with auto supports, but so far I haven't cracked the support editing, and that's left me missing G2 box terribly. But there is good news. Anycubic tell me their engineers are looking to include G2 box software with the Model S very soon, and for me that's a big relief. So, what are my thoughts on the Anycubic Photon S? Well, that's easy. I like it. It's quiet and it's smooth. Despite the flimsy and cheap plastic, it feels like a quality item. The controls are well positioned and easy to use. It comes with a great pedigree and a built-in community. There's more Anycubic resins out there than you can shake a stick at, and most importantly, this Model S printer prints beautifully. Now for me it's not perfect, but that's only because I'm quite anal about positioning my print supports. It gives me more control. But so far the Anycubic slicer won't give me this, but G2 box will. So I'm hoping for some slicer updates very soon, or more ideally an inclusion of G2 box, so I can share files between various printers. But slicing softwares are a personal choice, and for you, the Anycubic slicer might be ideal. One thing's for sure, if you do get one of these machines, you won't be disappointed with the print quality. And if you are interested in one, check out the description below this video for a great promotional offer. As always, if you've got any comments or questions, feel free to drop me a line. So that's it for now guys, take care and thanks for watching.